Now we'll be starting the digestive system. Of course, like plants in plant nutrition carry out photosynthesis, humans have their own digestive system. Now, what's the structure and function of the alimentary canal? Okay, the digestive system is an example of an organ system in which several organs work together to digest and absorb food. Of course, many organs they work together, they digest and absorb food. Now, those organs may also contain. I show you a diagram in the next slide. They contain your mouth. Okay, they have liver, pancreas, kidneys, stomach, intestine, small, large, ileum, both. Then you have gallbladders, you have heart. They all play a role together in digestion. Now, digestion is a process in which relatively large insoluble molecules such as starch proteins are broken down into smaller soluble molecules. For example, proteins might be broken down into amino acids. Okay, carbohydrates may be broken down into simpler substances. These small soluble molecules, such as glucose and amino acids, are either used to provide cells with energy via respiration or with materials which they can build other molecules to growth, repair, and function. Now, if you're taking in starch, now that starch carbohydrate, for example, the carbohydrate is starch. Now, that starch is now broken into two glucose molecules, for example, and now those two glucose molecules might go and work in some parts of bodies, for example in muscles, for example in respiration, lungs. So that's how large molecules are broken down into smaller molecules, or large insoluble molecules such as starch and proteins are broken down into smaller soluble molecules such as amino acids and glucose that can be absorbed into the bloodstream. Now, starch and proteins cannot be directly absorbed and they are large molecules. They are difficult to break down. Hence, they have to be converted into simpler substances. Now, these small soluble molecules such as glucose and amino acids are either used to provide cells with energy. Of course, energy comes via respiration and other functions inside muscle cells which require a lot of energy to work. The human digestive system is made up of organs that form the alimentary canal and accessory organs. The alimentary canal is the channel or passage through which food flows through the body, starting at the mouth and ending at the anus, where the excretion occurs. Now, digestion occurs within the alimentary canal. Accessory organs produces substances. Now, there are some main organs, and then we have some accessory organs. Now, the main organs are the ones where digestion is taking place, and accessory organs are the organs which provide materials for digestion, such as gallbladder provides bile and pancreas provides enzymes. But the pancreas is an accessory organ providing enzymes, and the main organ is stomach, where those enzymes are being used to carry out digestion. For example, this is our digestive system. We all know that digestion starts from the mouth. We have salivary glands present here, which have amylase enzyme, accessory organ. Now you see the red star is showing us accessory structures which provide enzymes for digestion. These are the main organs where the digestion is taking place. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So the main organs such as mouth, digestion is taking place inside the mouth with help of the accessory digestive structures such as salivary glands in our mouth which provide amylase to break down proteins. Then we have esophagus, our trachea, the canal through which the food goes inside the stomach. Inside the stomach, we have liver. Liver produces substances, enzymes, some solutions, which some juices which usually help us in digesting food. Then we have the bile duct. There we have this accessory organ gallbladder. Then we have pancreas making pancreatic juices for stomach. Then we have the main organ large intestine. Through the large intestine, it goes into the small intestine. Through the small intestine, it goes to the rectum, and then through the anus, and finally excretion begins. This is appendix. The role of appendix is quite confusing and will be discussed in the further slides. Now, the human digestive system includes the organs of the alimentary canal and accessory organs that work together to break large insoluble molecules into small soluble molecules. So, the main organs cannot work without the help of accessory organs, because accessory organs provide those enzymes. For example, pancreas. Pancreas provides pancreatic juices. We have pancreas over here. It provides pancreatic juices for the stomach, such as hydrochloric acid, gastric juices. They usually churn up the food and break down the food into smaller substances. Now we have these different structures and we'll be discussing those individually. Yes. Now the first structure we are having is mouth. Okay, the function of the mouth is where mechanical digestion. Now there's two things. The first term is mechanical digestion and the second term is known as chemical digestion. The difference between these two is mechanical digestion is mainly digestion in which action physically is taking place, whereas chemical reaction or chemical digestion takes place via chemicals. Enzymes break down those food. But mechanical digestion, you're doing it yourself. You're doing an action. You're chewing the food. That's mechanical. That's physical. It's done by you. But the amylase, for example, teeth chew food is mechanical digestion. Amylase enzyme in saliva start digesting starch into maltose via chemical digestions. The food is shaped into a bolus. Now the food you're chewing and when you swallow it, it is a kind of a ball shape which is known as bolus. Rolled by the tongue, lubricated in saliva, so it can be swallowed easily down your throat. Now then when we talk about throat, we talk about esophagus. Now that's the tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. This is the esophagus over here. Okay, and this is the stomach directly connecting. Now tube that connects the mouth to the stomach where the food bolus goes after being swallowed. Wave-like contractions will take place to push the food bolus down without relying on gravity. Now, of course, the gravity doesn't help you swallow the food. It does not. You have to provide, like, for example, just imagine yourself swallowing the food. Okay, your throat makes a pushing, pulling sound like it's trying to push the food downwards. Of course, the shape of your neck, your esophagus is actually carrying out a movement. Now, this is your esophagus. This is your bolus. Now your esophagus may contract at this point, so the food goes down. Then it would again contract at this point, so the food. So basically, it's carrying out some contractions. The throat is moving inside, and this mode is actually known as peristalsis movement. Okay, you must have heard it if you've read the book. You will read peristalsis mode is the expansion contraction movement through which bolus is carried down to the stomach. They are wave-like contractions. Okay, while you swallow, the shape of your esophagus, like imagine yourself swallowing, the bolus is actually visible on your neck that it's being swallowed. Of course, you have to make a certain movement. उसको आप निगलते हैं, ठीक है? And you have to make an effort in swallowing. It does not happen by itself. So this is also mechanical digestion. Then we have stomach. Food is mechanically digested by churning. Now churning is mixing, breaking down. For example, blender. An example of blender is churning. While protease enzymes start to chemically digest proteins. Then we have HCl. HCl is present to kill bacteria in food and provide the optimum pH for protease enzymes to work. Now in stomach we have protease enzymes. Now by the name protease we discussed in enzymes chapter, they break down proteins. Then what's happening in stomach? We have HCl.